all of our lives, and with Victoria's harsh lockdown laws being extended, there's serious concerns over the mental health impact it's having. Now there's a campaign calling for Aussies to take part in a suicide first aid course, teaching the basics of how you can talk to someone in need. It's a conversation that could save a life. Just 3 simple words.
Are you okay?
But how do you respond when someone replies, "No, I'm not"?
There's quite a big stigma around, I guess, talking openly about mental health and suicide in particular. So when people respond and openly say that they're not okay and they need help, a lot of people are often quite taken aback.
It's hard enough under normal circumstances, but when you add intensified feelings of uncertainty, isolation and loneliness because of COVID lockdowns and restrictions, that challenging conversation gets even more difficult.
The coronavirus challenge has really, I guess, upped the ante or really increased the need for people within community to have suicide first aid skills, to be able to help those around us in distress. And what we know is that it takes a whole community or a whole village even to keep people safe from suicide.
Around 40% of people who take their life won't seek help from health services, which means it's helpful if friends, family, neighbours, teachers, even colleagues open their eyes to those around them who are struggling. It could strike up a life-saving conversation. That's where Living Works suicide first aid training comes in.
Suicide first aid skills is like any other first aid course. It's teaching us not to be therapists, but to connect people to care and outreach to their community.
Through Crisis Heroes, it provides a unique online space for the 200,000 or so Aussies already trained in suicide first aid. Here they can provide support for those in need, either by phone or via text.
You learn how to identify what signs to look for in someone who may be thinking about suicide, how to ask the question with care and respect, and then how to keep people safe by stating the seriousness and connecting to help.
And that's exactly why Magda Szubanski signed up.
It's fantastic. It's simple, it's direct. In terms of increasing my confidence around having difficult conversations, I feel now like I've got something. Those of us who feel at all concerned about the well-being of anyone that we know, this then gives an opportunity for us to feel a little bit more confident in being that first line of first aid for people who we think really are struggling.
After noticing a few of her friends struggling with their mental health, 18-year-old Alita Wassel also decided to take part in suicide prevention training earlier this year.
I thought that it was a fabulous opportunity to get trained up, to start talking about suicide and mental health. I'm training to be a teacher, so I think it's very important in the community to have those skills behind you and know how to refer people to support and help when they need it.
One of the misconceptions about suicide prevention is that it is only up to the professionals or mental health clinicians to have these conversations. It's actually young people who will likely have these conversations first. And so they're really the key connectors and key touch points for their peers, and really they can make a difference.
When you're dealing with mental health and thinking about suicide, it can feel really overwhelming and you can feel like you're alone, but really you're not, and the help is available if you want it. So definitely reach out, make that first step, talk to people and let people know how you're feeling so that you can get the help you need.
COVID, in a strange way, has actually made us even more aware of the importance of community and society and the way that we can all help one another. Really what we're doing is using this opportunity to actually strengthen the sense of community. So I hope that gives people hope, that there really are people there to help.
Interesting, because I reckon there's a fear when you know someone's struggling that they're going to want you to have the solution or to solve it for them. If you begin the conversation, you need to help solve it. Yeah. And the thing is, I think if you have the ability just to listen and be comfortable in that conversation, then you can refer them to the people that will help them resolve it. It's not up to you to resolve it, but by listening and being comfortable listening, I think that's the thing, because as soon as someone says they're not, you're like, oh, I don't know what to do.
But I think also being confident listening. So I think this is such a great idea, because my fear is that I will somehow make it worse.
Of course, that's what everybody's fear is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not even that I won't find a solution, but I just will do damage, right? So, yeah, I think all that sort of help that you can possibly get is really, really valuable. Yeah.
Well, if you want more information on Living Works, all the details are on our website. And, of course, if you do need help right now, crisis support is available 24/7 through Lifeline on 13 11 14.
It's time for us to go to a break. We'll see you soon.